Hey everyone, I've just been killed for the first time. Still in low rank, but what I was saying in the early access video no longer applies. We're in low rank difficulty now. We're in low rank difficulty. The game starts off legitimately brain dead, but I'd say around the time Kangala or whatever the fuck it's called comes into it. Around the time the big pink monkey comes into it from the older games, which I think the big pink monkey is, I think, the first, yeah, it's definitely the first old monster that comes back, and it's a good fight. It's nice to see the big pink monkey again. After that, we're in basic low rank difficulty. So essentially what Wilds does is it adds a new layer of difficulty, in that it starts off way easier than the game has ever been before, to the point where you could probably still it while going, you could probably kill the monster while going AFK. At a certain point, I'd say after Kangala, you're gonna be facing like one or two other new monsters. That is proper low rank difficulty. We're in low rank difficulty where it's not like sweat inducing, it's not difficult, but it will also punish you if you stop paying attention and you get too greedy, right? It's that nice balance of pay fucking attention, don't get greedy, and you can kill it without problem, right? That's low rank difficulty. Up until that point, I was kinda just spamming and button mashing because the game allowed me to do so. This guy, really cool monster. It's basically using the, I don't know what skeleton type you'd call it, but if anyone remembers Royal Ludroth, it's using that skeleton. Very different fight from Royal Ludroth, but you can tell a lot of its moves are very similar to Royal Ludroth, which is nice because, again, Royal Ludroth is another monster we haven't seen for a while, and I absolutely love its gimmick. Right here, you can see one of the strengths of Wilds, the environments. One of the fights before this was just so unbelievably epic. Like, without question, one of the most epic low-rank fights I've ever been in. It was against, like, the alpha of that big furry thing that looks a little bit like, it's got a bulldog face, or a Chinese lion face, or something like that. The fight, again, it was typical low-rank difficulty, where it wasn't super hard, but it did punish you if you didn't pay attention, right? But the weather was like lightning, so atmospheric. It was like the climactic fight. It was like a climactic fight. I've never experienced a low-rank fight that epic before. There was thunder and lightning going on, and sometimes this lightning could strike the ground, and it was getting into fights with the prior monster we came against, and it was just so cinematic. And you can see this one, this guy does rain. You can see the effects of the water. You can see the water pushes me back. Really cool environmental kind of fight. The gimmick with this one is it's like it uses bubbles and like water pressure, so that webbing it looks like it has attached to its limbs, it's actually made up of water, and it provides it with a layer of armor. So as you attack it, you start breaking through that layer of armor, and it starts breaking off. Like so. Okay, it's not breaking off there. Let me just heal. But this is the first thing to kill me in the game. Why? Because I wasn't paying attention. It's also a little difficult at the moment because I've turned the volume off of my computer, so I don't have to put headphones in. Here we are. You can see some of that, like, water armor breaking. Really cool. Really cool. Did I cut off its tail? Shit, it looks like I cut off its tail without noticing. Yeah, I definitely did. Bollocks. Is it on the map? Did I cut its tail off? Never mind. I'll pay more attention next time. But it's a little bit more difficult at the moment because I've not got the audio on at the moment, so I'm going purely by visual cues and the audio cues, so a bit like sharper. No, like, this is low rank difficulty at this point, right? Where, like I say, it's not hard, But it will punish you if you fuck around and you get greedy and you don't pay attention. But Wilds, I'm enjoying at this point. The story is still... Oh, fuck me. Okay, I didn't realize that was an ultimate attack. That was an ultimate attack. Okay. I'm pretty sure if I had the audio one, I would have heard like an audio cue of it really building something there. Never mind. But this is like low rank difficulty, where if you don't pay attention, it will punish you, but you're fine. High rank is where you do start to have to pay attention, and you really do have to try. And then G rank, when we eventually get that, because I'm assuming they're going to save that for an expansion. They'll call it Master Rank. But G rank is where, that's where you pull out your best. That's where you use all your skills and all your tools and everything you have at your disposal. That's what... I can't swing it like that, I suppose. It's got more armor popped up. It's roaring again. This is the first fight in which the roars are affecting me. They did in like the fluffy one, but not like this. This is like proper full level roaring that stuns me. And I'm also finding that this actually does quite a bit of damage to me. So this is like the first, I'd say, proper fight of low rank. This is really cool. This is one of my favorite monsters in the game so far. I love its gimmick. I love its design. I love the environment. I'm fighting it. It's a nice little bit of challenge for low rank. Very, very cool. I'm a big fan of this. I tend to enjoy these kind of like fat aquatic types as well. Like the Royal Ludroth was a particular favorite of mine from Generation 3. Just because it was like this big dirty lizard lion with a mane made out of like sponge, essentially. It's this big spongy like lizard sea lion. God, the sharpness of this is so bad. It's actually the best sharpness I have in any weapon at the moment. But no, I am legitimately really enjoying the game at the moment. It's just the one thing that's bugging me. Repel it. I can't. I've just realized I have to repel it. It doesn't even expect me to kill it. Oh God, I want to kill it. Fuck repelling it. I want to kill it. I absolutely love the raptor, and as you can tell, by the way, with it being like black and purple, I've unlocked customization, so I'll finally get to do that. Yeah, I do really like Wilds so far. The combat is still great. We've not got all that combo focus, web-slinging bullshit that was in Rise. You don't have to get the birds in Rise. Oh, is it doing that thing again? Wait a minute. Jump on the burb. Jump on the burb. Burb. Thank you, burb. Going over that way. Oh yeah, here we go. I need to get out the area. That was like a tsunami attack, wasn't it? Whoa. God, I wish I could hear this at the moment, but I can't pause the game, even if I am on a private server. I think I'd have to go completely offline to... Oh wait, no, it's Monster Hunter. You've never been able to pause Monster Hunter. What the fuck am I talking about? But no, it's See this? I'm enjoying this now. I'm legitimately really enjoying the game now. We've got, again, it's low rank. I'm not expecting G rank right from the get-go. I'm expecting low rank. I'm expecting the game to require me to pay just a little bit of attention. No, let me finish it, damn it! No, let me finish it! Come on, it's weak! No, don't cock-block me like this! But here's the thing about the game, right? The story and the cinematics, in moments like this, and when you see like the Ace Hunter that's with me, when you see these characters be badass, the story and the cinematics are really, really fun. But 90% of the time,
right,
it's not that. 90% of the time, you're like, just let me hunt, just let me hunt, just let me hunt. Stop making me follow characters around. Stop making me talk to characters. Stop stopping the flow of the game. I want to enjoy the normal Monster Hunter flow of preparation, hunt, carve, bring the stuff back and make better gear, preparation, hunt, bring back, better gear, preparation, hunt, come back, better gear. I want that loop, and I'm not getting that loop because the loop of Wilds is different from the loop of any other Monster Hunter game. What the fuck? Yo, is that the fucking Elder Dragon? Is that like the big Nautilus thing from like, was it 4U or Generations? No, that's something different. Is that the actual thing that chased this guy? Yo, what is that? It's like a... It's an octopus or something? I can't make out what it is. That's the White Ray. So, I actually know nothing about the flagship in this game. I know nothing about it whatsoever. I've avoided, like, a bunch of spoilers. But yeah, a follow-up to this. I've got a feeling this will be on my top 5 this year because it is more in line with World than it is Rise in terms of basic gameplay, which is nice. I wish it was more in line with classic Monster Hunter than those two games. You know, I wish I was playing a game that was more like Monster Hunter 4U or Monster Hunter Generations, or maybe even a little older than that, like, you know, but I'd rather play a game that feels more like those older games. But it's not as spammy, it's not as gimmicky as Rise, so I'm happy with that. The thing that's bugging me is the core loop of Monster Hunter Wilds is story, 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 escort, hunt. Story, 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 escort, hunt. Story, 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 escort, hunt. Right, okay, now you can go and face those monsters you faced before in, like, side optional quests, in which it's more in line with your traditional Monster Hunter experience. There's typically, like, 2 or 3 of those monsters that you can hunt in, like, this extra quest mode. Right, you've played a little bit of the classic Monster Hunter experience. Right, it's back to Wilds now. Story, 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 hunt, story, 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 hunt. Over and over and over again. And as you can see, that was a really cool fight, but I was cock-blocked. It was a repel rather than a fight. And I think I could have done it. I definitely could have done it. And it's annoying because I don't need to repel that. You know, I'm not fighting like Lagiacrus within the few fucking first missions of the game. I'm not fighting like, I don't know, Jen Moran right at the start of the game, you know? I'm fighting a fucking, like... I'm fighting a Royal Ludroth on steroids, essentially. Like, I don't need to repel it. I could kill that easily. You know, especially if I could actually hear the audio cues. Wait, it's dead? I thought I needed to repel it. But it told me to repel it, not... Oh, I don't understand. Oh, no, wait. I've just saw that cutscene. It was killed. So, I wasn't cock-blocked. I was kill-stealed. No! But no, like, see, now I've got more story, so I need to talk to this character, and then we might go back to the camp, and then I'm going to need to talk to more people, and then I'm going to need to follow them around, and then maybe I'll get another hunt, and then I'll need to talk to more people again, and listen to more dialogue, and watch more cutscenes, and follow more NPCs around, and then maybe I'll get another hunt. And it's really annoying, because look at this. This is fucking gorgeous. I know a lot of people are complaining about the look of this game. The performance is definitely a problem. I know a lot of people are complaining about the look of this game, but honestly, I think this is one of the prettiest Monster Hunter games we've had. Now, I will say, I actually really like the way Rise looked, because Rise had the perfect balance between World's high texture detail, like all these different scales and whatnot. World had that, but it also had bright colors, which was typical of the Monster Hunter series. So I do understand people hating this, like, duller color palette because they've gone for realism. But let's face it, does this fucking sword look like realism to you? Does this look like realism? Does jumping from a cliff and landing without taking any damage, dying or breaking my legs sound like realism? Monster Hunter isn't a realistic game. You don't have to go for realism. But personally speaking, I think this is fucking gorgeous. I mean, admittedly, I have a soft spot for this kind of, like, weather and environment, and the forest swampy areas have always been my favorite in the series. But, yeah, I really, really like Wilds so far. I do. I really like it. It's so much better than Rise. It's so much better than Rise. There's so much less of the gimmicky shit. But I am really, really... I fucking love this guy. I love the Raptor so much. The fact that I can just call it and then sharpen my blade, or have a quick heal, and then charge in and then jump off it and get an easy, like aerial attack, is really cool. You can also fight on top of it as well, which I found out after the video. Yeah, when you're on top of it, you can swing your sword on top of it. You can actually attack. I can't do any charge attacks. And then if I swap my weapon, I've not actually tried the bow yet. Can I fire the bow while on it? I can. Look at this shit. I'm actually trying to do a fight like this before, but I can actually ride around on my bow, firing. How fucking cool is that? So I don't know. I really like the game. The only thing bugging me, legitimately, the only thing bugging me about Wilds at the moment is its loop. Because it doesn't have the Monster Hunter loop. It has the, it has a completely different loop. It is so focused on its story, which is crazy to me. Because this has never been a series that, like, cared about its story or had a good story worth paying attention to, right? I think the first game in the series that had, like, a definitive story was Tri. Right? Every game has a story, but the only one that put any level of effort into it whatsoever was Tri. And then I remember 4U coming out and being like, wow, okay, they're really trying with the story this time. And now this, Wilds, is essentially your basic action game, in which it's so many cutscenes and so much dialogue. And then the most infuriating thing in the game is when you're forced to follow an NPC around, and you've got, like, this really, really narrow, like, the space between me and the monster, like, the raptor and the monster here, that's how much wiggle room you have to run around. And if you go out of that, the game will forcefully stop you, turn your fucking camera around, and very slowly force you to walk back before giving you control of your character again. And it is goddamn infuriating. Because the amount of times I've seen, ooh, that's a cool cave over there. Let's go and see what that. Nope, I've got to turn back. I'm like, for fuck's sake, let me play Monster Hunter. Let me just play the fucking game. Can you pull that down? No, I didn't know how to do that. That'll be useful. But legitimately, Wilds is really, really good. It is. So I've got a feeling I'm going to really enjoy high rank. That's when I'm going to enjoy the game, because it is very, very pretty. I love the raptor. I love my character. Like, I love the new monsters. Every new monster is great so far. It's not as strong as Rise's new monsters, but the monsters are really, really cool so far. The weapons are really, really cool so far. As you can see, like, this is an early weapon, but it doesn't just look like a basic bone or iron weapon. It could be better than that, but it's way better than World. It's way, way better than World. So we're not getting that again. There is some variation in weapon designs. It's not all the same iron or bone with a slight variation. So that's good. But honestly, like, the difficulty was essentially the early game is brain dead. And it takes you a little longer into low rank to get basic low rank difficulty, right? It takes you a little longer into low rank to get basic low rank difficulty. And then eventually you do hit that, and the game experience is a lot better. What I have found, actually, is I did make a post about this on Steam, the Steam forums, and there was a guy in the comments saying, this is my first Monster Hunter game. Can you explain to me, like, what I'm doing wrong here? So a lot of these changes in terms of casualizing the experience, reducing a lot of the grind, making the gameplay easier, making it more standard for like an action adventure game, like a Western action adventure game, like making it more in line with that. Even with all these changes to dumb down and streamline the experience, it is still a fucking awful game for new players to get into. This guy was playing the game thinking it was an RPG. So I basically sent him a long message explaining, like, the basics, the different types of monsters, like endemic life, small monster, large monster, what different items might do, the core, like, you know, drive of the game and the loop of the game, and, like, the crafting, both weapon and armor crafting, and also, like, item combo list, yeah, the crafting list stuff, explaining a bunch of things, telling them how to make, like, basic potions, as well as, like, traps and things, because they'll, like, trank bombs, and essentially being like, look, there's no shame in looking online of where to find certain things. because the game series has always been incredibly difficult and obtuse for new players to get into. Most people who play Monster Hunter have been playing it for a long time, and a lot of this stuff is just second nature to us at this point. So when we play a new game, it's just a matter of like learning the new mechanics, right? So for me, learning the Raptor, learning this new wound system, which honestly I really like. I was worried that the wound system was going to be like the Clutch Claw, but it's nowhere near that so far. It could turn into that later on with like armor sets and things. So for example, you can see a wound I inflicted over here. Let's see if I can show you any other ones that it might have. I think it's got one on its tail. I can't see any just yet, but it did have several wounds on it throughout the fight. But that is what the wounds end up looking like once you've succeeded in them. They glow for a while, and then yeah, you can only have one on it at a time. But throughout the course of a fight, it will end up with several of them, and they just kind of occur naturally. So if you're attacking an area on a regular basis because you're aiming for a break or a weak spot, like the head or maybe breakable spots like claws or tails, you'll start to find these wounds just develop naturally. So it's not like the Clutch Claw. It doesn't stop the natural flow of combat and fuck the whole feel of it up like the Clutch Claw did from Iceborne. The wound system is actually really good so far. So yeah, I like the new systems. I like the wound system. I fucking love the Raptor. I was so on the fence with it, but I fucking love it at this point. It's great. I love it as much as I love the Palicos. It is impossible for me to play a Monster Hunter game now before the Feline Companions came in. It is impossible for me to play those old games now without me feeling like the game's severely lacking. And this, like, I don't miss the Palamute so far as much as I like the Palamute, but I will miss this guy in future entries. I love this fucking thing. And the shame is, because of how integral it is to this game's, like, story, this actually might be just a gimmick of Wilds and we might never see it again. But I really fucking love this thing. It is so cool. One thing I don't like is how it removes exploration and it just kind of takes you to the hunt. However, you can turn that off. So once I learn the map, once I learn the maps and where everything is, I'm just going to turn that auto track feature off and I'm just going to play it myself. But for now, it's nice to just go along with the basic flow of the game because it's so story heavy. But yeah, let's talk to her. And shall we return to the base camp for now? Yeah. Let's go. And then we'll return to the base camp and we'll have more talking. And we might have... No, we've only killed like one monster, so we got more talking now. And this is the thing that's bugging me. It's just talking and talking and talking and talking and cutscenes and talking and following NPCs around and talking and cutscenes and following NPCs around and talking and cutscenes, and maybe every now and again you'll get to do a hunt. And very rarely, after a large load of dialogue, you'll get the opportunity to go on several hunts at once and play a normal Monster Hunter experience. I am really hoping that this, at the very least, even in the worst case scenario, and this is entirely low rank experience, I am hoping that at the very least, once I get into the high rank, they will stop this shit. So... she's gotta return to this area first. She'll show up later on. But, yeah. Let's see what I can make from that thing.
Is it true you had a run-in with the...
Had to run in with the White Ref. I'm not talking about the Right Ref. I'm here to use the facility, not for the story. Now, I will say, the story in this game is unlike any other Monster Hunter story we've had before. For a Monster Hunter game, it's really good. Like... This isn't, I don't know, fucking Planescape Torment, you know? This isn't a really good story. It's not. It's bog standard action-adventure story, right? Bog fucking standard. But for a series that has always had basically no story to a pretty bad story, the story's really good. The problem is that the gameplay is being completely overshadowed by the story. And even as a major RPG player, I actually largely play video games for story and characters and writing and choice. Not this series. I have never played the Monster Hunter series for that, and no one has. No one has, because Monster Hunter's strength is its core gameplay loop. Let's have a look at what the new armor looks like. Out of curiosity. Ooh, we've got our first green set. Yeah, it felt like our first green set. Yo! Wait, is it just the... Can I not view that? Oh no, I can't view that because I don't have the parts. I can't actually view the full set. What about the female version? No, I can only view the pants. Because I have not unlocked those other parts yet. Okay, that's interesting. Well, going by the pants... Oh, that's going to be such a cool set. One thing I do hate, actually, using the analog sticks in the menus, an absolute nightmare. I'm going to just touch it very slightly. Wait, there we are. That's very slightly. See the way it jumps crazily? You have to use the fucking... You have to use the up and down, the D-pad for this. But if you try and use the analog stick to rotate your character, it gets stuck between rotating and doing that. Like, if you move up and down only slightly, it gets stuck. Like, it is so sensitive. What about weapons? Can we create new weapon? Do we have new weapons? The weapon upgrades are really slow in this, I've noticed. But the weapon upgrades only feel really, really slow because I'm not going on that many hunts. Like, how many hours I've put into this game so far? Let's check Steam. I've put 9.7 hours into the game, right? Now, in that time, I would have killed so many fucking monsters in past games. But in this game, I've killed, like... In fact, let me show you how many I've killed. How many did... Oh, no, I don't want to talk about the white fucking... Why did it default to that? Armor. So, in this game, let's see. I've killed... So, there's one. There's two. That's a small... No, 3. 4. Conger. So, that's a small monster? No, that's the big conger. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... That's a small monster. That's a small monster. That's standard armor. Climate trees. Alright. 6. 7. That's a standard monster. That's a standard. Yeah, that's a standard monster. Standard. 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 So like 5? I think 5 or 6 large monsters. Now, 5 or 6 large monsters within 9 hours is insane, and that's because the vast bulk of the game is story. So, finish your preparations and talk to Alma. So again, we can't go on hunts. In fact, she's not even fucking here. Where is she? Right, can I just view the basic quest log? Can I please just view the basic quest log? Oh my god.
Are you ready to go meet the what's?
No, I would like to play Monster Hunter. No, exactly. So... No, I can't play Monster Hunter because the game has more story to force down my throat. This is the problem I'm having with the game. That is the main problem I'm having with the game. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to empty my inventory and I am going to go out again. So again, the usual progress would be, okay, cool, I've just gone on the hunt. I'm going to check what else I can make, which I've just done. I'm going to sort my inventory out, which I'm just done. And I'm going to have something to eat. Then I'm going to go to the guild mom, I'm going to select a new quest, and then I'm going to go out and hunt another monster. And that will be it, right? And I really, really, really enjoy that core loop. That core loop is the most satisfying video game loop in history for me. And this game won't let me do that, because it is so concerned about telling me its generic-ass, standard-ass, action friggin' game story. It is so concerned with telling me its basic-ass story that it will not let me play the Monster Hunter game I purchased. Right? This is like buying, like, Mortal Kombat or Soul Calibur and getting a fucking visual novel instead. You know what I mean? So, right, okay, so we've got more story to do.
Are you ready to go meet the what's?
The Woodwoods. Meet the Woodwoods. Right, we're going to go back to the little fluffy bastards as well, the Ewoks. So let's go back to the fluffy bastards then. I would like to go on more hunting, but instead of going on more hunting, I have to follow an NPC around and be talked at for a little bit. That's what I have to do. This is the problem I'm having with the game. Wilds, when it actually lets you fucking play, is great. Wilds, 70% of the game, maybe even more, to be perfectly honest, is fucking first. Like, it won't even let me turn my camera and do that. It wouldn't even let me turn my camera. I missed him. No. It wouldn't even let me turn my camera because it was too busy showing me the pretty, like, bloom effects. See, it's stunning. How do they taste? So, yeah, it's like, yes, the game is incredibly pretty. I agree. This is gorgeous. And you know, I could very much appreciate how beautiful this game is by just fucking playing it. But it won't let me play it. Because this right here is the bulk of the game. Have the computer. I'm not touching the controller right now. This is the computer controlling the game. Oh look, a school of fish. Wow, fish. Oh, I get some RP. Do they taste good? I'm just gonna ask that. Like, this is the gameplay. This is Monster Hunter Wilds. Follow NPCs around, be talked at, watch cinematics, and every now and again, they'll actually let you fucking play Monster Hunter. That's the problem. The difficulty issues have sorted out now. The only changes with difficulty is the start of difficulty. The start of the game is fucking brain dead. But then eventually, about, I'd say, Conga onwards, you start to get the basic low-rank type of difficulty where you do actually have to pay attention. You know, it's not sweat-inducing, but you do have to pay attention. Am I gonna ask... And so many different flavors. Yeah, there we go. So I'm just going to keep asking about the fucking... I'm going to pretend roleplay being Solid Snake. And I'm just going to, like, catch all the different birds. I'll eat them all later. But this is it. This is the game. Do you know what the crazy thing is? Okay. Since World, I love the endemic life system. World added the endemic life system, and I absolutely fucking love that system. Because I love animals, and I love nature photography in real life. So, one of the fun bits for me, for these new, like, the new way they do zones, since World, is going out, exploring, finding the endemic life for myself, and catching it, and, like, seeing what it looks like, and reading the... Can we look at the... No, we can't look at it right now, because right now we need to focus on being talked at by the NPCs and looking at the pretty world. So, and, like, reading up on the endemic life. To me, that is part of the fun of the series, right? That is part of the fun of the series, is the... Oh, God. See, I can't capture that, because the game has forced my camera in this direction. So I can't even do that. It's like... This is what's driving me nuts. Let me fucking play Monster Hunter. But it won't let me play because this is the bulk of the game. I love the Raptor. The combat's great. The game is gorgeous when it runs properly. But this... I'm not playing an RPG. This is not an RPG. Like, can we get back to playing Monster Hunter? This isn't Monster Hunter. This is NPC Hunter. That's what this is. So, Monster Hunter Wilds, at least in low rank, I am praying to God that this shit stops once I hit high rank. I want to just play the core loop, but it won't let me. I just want to play the fucking core loop, but it won't let me. It won't let me. Because this is all the game is. This is all the game is. Talk, 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 follow an NPC around, have the control of the game completely taken from you, talk, 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 ooh, ooh, look at the pretty environments, look at the endemic life, oh look, fish. It's not like you wouldn't have paid attention to this in the fucking first place. Here, let me hold your hand, take the controller away from you, and hold your neck firmly still so I can point you in the direction I, the developer, want you to look at. Because I, the developer, think you're a fucking retard and you will have no idea how to fucking look at pretty images and look at fish and look at birds. You'll never notice this because you're a retard and we need to show it to you. And it's just like, I would do this anyway. The first time I played Monster Hunter World, when we had the massive map changes, where instead of it being segmented, we had like this big expansive world to explore. I spent about 5 hours alone just exploring that map, looking at the endemic life, enjoying the craftsmanship of the world that the Monster Hunter series had never had before. Like, we had never had a map like World before. They were all segmented. We'd never had a Monster Hunter game that was as pretty as World before. It was such a unique experience visually for an old Monster Hunter player. Like, I did this because I appreciated what they've done. And in Wilds, they force you to pay attention. They force me to do exactly what I would be doing in the first place, while completely taking control away from me and forcing me to engage in their story that this series has never had before. No one plays this series for this shit. We play this series to hunt monsters, not to be talked at and follow NPCs around. This has been something that people have been bitching and complaining about for fucking years in modern game design. We're so sick of following NPCs around and being talked at. We want to play the fucking game. I actually like narrative games. I love Life is Strange. I love a lot of Telltale games. I love RPGs that are all fucking dialogue. I love this shit, but that is never why I play Monster Hunter. You know, this is like buying a cozy game and getting a Dark Souls experience. I like Dark Souls. I like cozy games. But when I buy a cozy game, I don't want a fucking Dark Souls experience. By the same token, I like Monster Hunter and I like narrative games. But when I buy a fucking Monster Hunter game, I do not want a narrative experience. I want to play fucking Monster Hunter. Why is 90% of this fucking game doing anything other than hunting? It's madness. And yes, it's pretty. And the environments are stunning. And the new monsters and the endemic life are awesome. But you know what? I would have known this anyway if you just let me fucking hunt. It's not like this is revolutionary. Look, every Monster Hunter story is exactly the same. New monster in the area, causing a ruckus. We fight multiple monsters on our way to the big flagship monster. Turns out the flagship monster was actually the small fry, and there's a much bigger fish to hunt. Right? And when you get to G rank, there's an even bigger fish. Let's take Tri, for example. Lagiacrus is the big flagship monster of Tri. It's on the fucking cover. It's the big name of the game. It's the big climactic hunt. There we are. We're following NPCs around again. I don't know what's going on, but we're following NPCs around again because this is Monster Hunter Wilds. It's Monster Hunter follow the fucking NPCs. Oh. It's like... Okay, and then you kill the Lagiacrus, then what? Turns out it's not the Lagiacrus, it's the big bloody beardy whale thing. So you kill that. Then you get into G rank. And what's in G rank? The big fucking volcano dragon, right? In between these major event fights that are involved in the story, you're hunting a bunch of other monsters. Every single Monster Hunter game has the exact same story. Let's tell you one most of you will be familiar with. World. What's the big monster of World? The big mountain dragon. What does it connect to? Nergigante. Once you eventually take out Nergigante, there's a bigger monster. It's that big fucking, like, alien-looking one in the cave. This is the exact same play-by-play in every other Monster Hunter game. And while I appreciate them changing the core narrative of the series to less of a sport hunter and more of a, we're actually doing research in like a very colonialist kind of way, where in our research we're killing a shit ton of things and ruining the environment, which is funny. Notice how little I'm actually hunting, by the way, while I'm on this rant. Notice how little I'm actually playing Monster Hunter. I've not even got the controller in my hands at the moment. I've not got it in my hands. I've put it down. I'm just sitting here talking. I don't even have the volume on the computer because what the fuck's the point? All they're going to be doing is talking about how pretty the environment is. They'll be talking about specific monsters, so on and so forth, and so yeah, that's all they're going to be doing, right? I don't know. I'm not paying attention. It looks like we're going to a new area. This one looks like a new, like a deserty area. We're going to different biomes. Okay, cool, whatever. It's just Wilds is really, really good when they let you actually fucking play. That's the takeaway from all this. It's really, really, really fucking good. It's great. It's amazing. It's fantastic. When they let you fucking play. Which is about 20, if not 10% of the gameplay so far. Most of the gameplay is this. It's following NPCs, it's cutscenes, and it's being talked at. This is not why I buy Monster Hunter. This is not Baldur's Gate. This is not Neverwinter Nights. This is not Dragon Age Origins. This is not fucking... I don't know, what other fucking amazing games? Pillars of Eternity. This is not fucking, Pathfinder. You know, this is not Life is Strange. This is not The Wolf Among Us. This is not The Walking Dead. This is not a story game. This is Monster Hunter. Why am I getting endless dialogue and endless cutscenes and very, very little hunting in Monster Hunter? I don't care. I do not fucking care. Listening to the same story I have heard in every single Monster Hunter game up until now, dragged out as much as possible. Why the fuck should I care? Hey look, we're in a new biome. What's the new biome? There's a new tribe in this new biome. Well, there'll be new monsters in this biome. Well, there's gonna be a big threat to this biome that we're gonna have to hunt. Well, wow, wouldn't it be amazing if we could actually be hunting instead of doing all this shit? And it's just like, yes, this story, these cutscenes, absolutely fucking amazing for a Monster Hunter game. Where it's not welcome. Where it's not welcome. It's like, oh wow, I've got this really amazing car recently. Oh yeah, what does it do? I take a bath in it. What? I thought you said it was a car. Yeah. Every single time I get into a car, I don't drive anywhere, I get a bath. What? I thought you said you got a... No, it's an amazing bath, but it's a car. Yeah, but it's a really, really good bath for a car. Right, but you've got a car. You get a car to drive around and go places. Yeah, but it's a really great bath for a car. If I wanted a bath, I'd get a bath. I'd buy a bath, not a fucking car. If I wanted story, I would not be buying Monster Hunter. It's just like, look! How long have I been going on in this video? Look how little hunting I've been doing. Look how little hunting I've been doing. How much time has passed where I haven't needed to touch the controller once? How much time has passed where I haven't needed to touch the controller and I have not hunted? I could have gone on like 2-3 hunts at the very least in the time it takes for me to get control of my character back. At the very least. Never mind the time it takes to go on another fucking hunt. This is a Monster Hunter game. Unless the monsters are people all along, I'm not seeing it. Oh, it's driving me nuts. I was having fun there. I was really having fun. That fight was great. The past few fights have been so good. The Konger's been great. The Graboid was great. The fucking big fluffy dog burr thing was great. That big purple, like, angry Royal Ludroth on steroids with the armor made out of like water webbing was brilliant. And now it's just cutscene. It's just cutscene and talking and following NPCs all throughout it. Oh my god. Oh, I finally get control out of my character. Can I go on a hunt yet? Oh, I get to explore the area? Really? Cool. Can I actually do anything, or are none of the big monsters unlocked yet? Can I talk to my guild mom? Can I go on a hunt, or do I need to continue to talk to NPCs to go on a proper hunt? Or is it just free hunts at the moment? Is it just free hunts? Right, let's have a look. Let's have a wander around. Well, I can't find my guild mom anywhere because I'm pretty sure she's fucked off over there. So I can't do that. Can I at least... How do I get out of here? So it says I can explore the area. Cool. I take it that's that way? Which way do I get out? Alright. Well, I can't have my raptor yet. Alright, let's just walk up over here. So where's the guild mom?
Can't blame her for being worried for them.
So we have this person here that wants to talk to me. Eric. Can I skip through all this? Yes, I can. Cool. Oh, there she is. Right. Can I go on a hunt? You know the Monster Hunter? Can I engage in Monster Hunter? No? Human Hunter then.
So what's your take?
Right, I'm gonna skip this. I don't care what you have to say. No. We have to do more story. More story. That's the only requirement. Right, okay. Well, I'd like to select a hunt and then go on a hunt, but I can't select a hunt because I have to talk to NPCs first. Who are you? Can I skip all of this, please? Please?
It is good to see
No?
you again.
I have... Alright.
Where was that girl headed? We're searching for this...
I don't care about any of this. I just want to play the game. Can I please... Please, just play the fucking game. Please. Like, again, this is not usually a complaint of mine, but this is Monster Hunter.
Shall we begin the search?
This isn't a narrative series. It has never been a narrative series. Any form of narrative would just be in, like, quest descriptions. And most of that was largely just the lols. Right. No new of these. Optional quests. Oh, thank fuck. Right. We can hunt this thing, which we've already fought as part of the story. This thing and this thing. Right, cool. Now I can actually select hunts to do. That thing I'm definitely doing because that's awesome and I want to see what its full set looks like. That was such a cool fucking fight. So I'm definitely doing that. But it's just... it's like...
I'm happy to help.
The actual gameplay of Monster Hunter has taken a back seat to the story, and the story is generic as fuck, and no one playing Monster Hunter, unless this is their first entry in the series, is playing this game for the story. Again, it is like buying Dark Souls and getting Animal Crossing. It is like buying Animal Crossing and getting Dark Souls. I love both Dark Souls and Animal Crossing. But when I buy one of them, I expect a specific experience. And if I get the complete opposite experience, I'm gonna be mad. Especially when it's a series as fucking unique as Monster Hunter. There is nothing out there like Monster Hunter except the things specifically trying to be Monster Hunter. So why the fuck is Monster Hunter trying to be a generic as fuck action game that is all cutscenes and dialogue? Why the fuck is Monster Hunter one of the most unique experiences in gaming trying to be so fucking generic? This is like YouTube, a platform that killed television, desperately trying to be television. Oh, wait. Monster Hunter Wilds is a fucking amazing game once they actually allow you to play Monster Hunter. But 90% of the fucking time, they don't want you to play Monster Hunter. They want you to play a fucking Telltale game without the dialogue options. Talk, 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 talk. Follow NPC, follow NPC, follow NPC, follow NPC. Talk, 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 talk. Okay, fine, you can have a hunt, right? Talk, 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 talk. Follow NPC, follow NPC. Where the fuck is the most satisfying loop in gameplay history? Where did that go? That's right, it didn't just take the back seat to the story, it was shot, taken out in the garden, and fucking buried in favor of the story. It really pisses me off because this isn't just a game I can dump, because when the game actually lets me play it, it's fucking brilliant. But it never lets me fucking play it because it's too busy taking control away from me and talking at me. Can we just go back to when Monster Hunter wasn't popular in the West? The moment World came out, this series went in the fucking trash. The moment World came out, this series tried desperately to appeal to an audience that never gave the slightest shit about it until the graphics were pretty. They didn't care about 1. They didn't care about Freedom. They didn't care about Freedom 2. They didn't care about Freedom Unite. They didn't care about Try. They didn't care about Free U. They didn't care about 4U. They didn't care about Generations. They didn't care about Generations Ultimate. They cared about World because it was pretty. And then a bunch of YouTubers came out the fucking woodwork to talk about a series they had never given a shit about before, claimed to be longtime fans, and then proceeded to talk about builds. A thing the series had never had before, except every now and again when you'd get into G rank and wanted a really good sharpness. The community completely changed from one of the most welcoming, wholesome communities in gaming history to another fucking Dark Souls community where everyone is competing against each other to have the biggest dick in a fucking co-op series. The community completely changed, the game direction completely changed to a fucking live service series that's more concerned about selling you DLC and microtransactions than making a complete fucking game like they used to make. And now it's turned into a basic ass fucking Western modern game experience where it's too busy trying desperately to be a movie instead of a fucking video game. Can we go back to when this series was not remotely popular in the West? Because that's when it was good. If you love something, pray to God it never becomes big. Because the moment it does, it loses all of its fucking soul. My favorite game series at all time reduced to basic ass Western action game that all it can do is try desperately to be a movie. I'm sorry. Words cannot explain how much I fucking love Monster Hunter. I have played it since the PlayStation 2. I have grown up playing it. I have had millions of hours in this series. And the moment it becomes popular, we get this. And it's just like, it's so frustrating. Because Wilds is so fucking good when it lets you actually fucking play it. It is gorgeous. The combat is amazing. The raptor is so cool. The cats, the palicos are cuter than they've ever been before. The new armor is amazing. The new freaking monsters are amazing. And I can't fucking experience it because I'm too busy being fucking talked at. And I am so sick of people who have only ever played fucking World telling me, well, low rank has always been normal. Go back and fucking play Try. Go back and play the PlayStation 2 game. Go back and play Freedom Unite and tell me that low rank was always fucking easy. Piss off. Low rank was not brain dead. There's a difference between easy and fucking brain dead. Now that's balanced out at this point. We've got a basic low rank experience now. When we can play it, the difficulty in Wilds is not the big issue that a lot of people are claiming it to be. Yeah, it's nowhere near as difficult as the older games used to be. Fine. Like, even the games most Monster Hunter players... Like, if you started on the PSP, you still haven't experienced how difficult Monster Hunter used to be because no Monster Hunter was harder than the first one. Right? So, fuck the difficulty arguments. So long as it's not completely brain dead, it's fine. I don't really care as long as the combat's fun. But I can't experience the combat because it's too busy trying desperately to be a movie. Like, I am not so... I am only this angry because I love this series. If I didn't give a shit about this series, I wouldn't get this impassioned. Why? is Monster Hunter desperately trying to be a movie. That is never what this series has been about. Ah. My throat hurts now. This video was only going to be a very, very quick one. I was going to say, hey look, my first impressions, I want to update my information. The difficulty isn't as big of an issue anymore. It's balanced out. We've got the normal low rank difficulty. You just need to get up to a certain point of it. And then you get like the normal low rank experience where you have to pay attention. But it's not like, it's not hard. It will just punish you if you slack off too much and you treat it like a button masher. It's like, okay, cool. Like the start of the game, you can treat it like a button masher. And then after that, it evolves into your basic low rank experience. Cool, awesome, great. But I love everything about this game. I really do. It's so good when it lets you play it, but it doesn't. It does not let you play it. So I'm praying to God that high rank is different. But the way the story usually works is low rank is the basic big flagship monster. High rank is a much more dangerous big hidden flagship, or like a new form of the basic flagship, right? So it's a different monster. So For You, for example, was a new form. But it's like low rank has its own, has the main, title flagship. High rank has the big challenge, and then G rank has something different. But it's just like, okay, but if high rank continues to have story, is this what the game is going to be the entire time? Is it all gonna be just following NPCs around and being talked at with very, very little hunting in between? Because honestly, once you cut out the story and the dialogue, there's nothing here. Like, let's talk to her again. If it lets me. I don't want to talk to Nata. I want to talk to Alma.
Hunter.
No, not...
I mean, like,
While we're here.
yeah.
Not Nata. Alma.
Shall we
Why does
begin
it
the
prioritize the kid? Right, so... I'm like, what, 9-10 hours in? This is everything I've killed. These are every monster. Right, and not only these are big monsters either. Like, these are all the big monsters I've killed since, like, the start of the game. Like, 10 hours in. Now, go back to an older Monster Hunter game, open up the quest board, see the plethora of quests. You've got big monster hunts, you've got low monster hunts, you've got gathering quests to freely explore, you've got egg hunting quests, you've got fishing quests, you've got so much to do, and you've got, like, gimmicky ones from, like, events in between that, like, do silly things for the fun of it. And you've got, like, I'd say 10 quests per star level. And, like, here are all 1-star quests. That's all of them. I'm just starting to get into the 2-star quests. It's like, where did the game go? Where did the game go? Is this why there's so much story in the game? Because there's no actual gameplay? Even, like, I shat all over Rise for having so little content in the game that I was able to beat all of the village quests within like a week. When in older entries, it took me about a month at the very least. Like, because there was so much to do. There were so many different monsters to hunt. There were so many different environments to go into. There were so many things to fucking craft. And all this game is story. And is this why? Because there's nothing to hunt? It's night and day compared to what this series used to offer. Is this why? Because if it was just this, the game would have nothing. Is this really it? It's madness. It's actually madness. They're all the assignments. They're all the main hunt quests. That's it. That's all I've done. That's all I've done in 10 hours. I'm sorry, but no, there's no defending this. And if you're defending this by saying, well, actually, I like the story, you must be brand new to the series. You must be brand new to the series because, okay, cool, yeah, the story's fine. I've got no problem with the story being good. Like, the story's fine. Why is it in a Monster Hunter game? Why is it, more importantly, taking over the Monster Hunter game? The Monster Hunter game in Wilds is the story. The hunting is the side like add-on. The actual gameplay of Monster Hunter Wilds takes a backseat to the story. The story is the gameplay. That's madness. I am repeating myself repeatedly at this point, but it's just like, this is a really, 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 really good game, trapped behind like misdirection. That's what it is. It's a really, really good game, trapped behind terrible decision making to try desperately to appeal to a Western audience that never cared about it before World. Never cared about it before World. And like, the vast majority of the YouTubers talking about this series now are only talking about it because there's a market. They never gave a shit before. There was one or two YouTubers like Pro Jared that actually had a passion for Monster Hunter. And then like the vast majority of people talking about it now that just have a completely different mentality with the series because they treat it just like every other fucking live service game and not like what Monster Hunter used to be. And it's very, very upsetting as a long-time player because unlike Rise, which was just a platform for microtransactions, this is a really fucking good game when they let you play it. And that's what's making me so angry. Because this could be an amazing Monster Hunter experience, but it's too busy forcing you to play a story. Forcing you to follow NPCs around. It's just like, yeah. But anyway, I've got friends coming over very, very, very soon, so I'm going to end this video now and just upload this raw. I'm not going to edit it whatsoever, I'm just going to upload it raw. Because it's just... I'm of so two minds with this series. I really, really am. You know, it's like a delicious pie behind a piece of glass that you can't access until you listen to like a sermon, and then once you listen to an entire day's worth of sermon, you get to have a few bits of icing, and then you have to come back for the next sermon and you get a little bit more icing. That's what this is. And it's so upsetting because it just shows you that the people making these games anymore seem to have no idea what made the Monster Hunter series so good, because they're trying desperately to turn them into a generic-ass Western action game, which is upsetting because there's no series out there like Monster Hunter except things desperately trying to be Monster Hunter. Fuck me.